Hang on a minute, that's pointing towards my foot. There we go. Right, bear with me, live people that are definitely not tuned in right now, because I've only just gone live. I've made no announcement I'm going live. I'm literally just going live. So yeah, bear with me, because I'm going to get it up on my iPad so I can see that the camera looks okay, because I can't see because I'm using my phone. Oh, I'm doing the light stuff. Go, let's go have a look. How much is this? And a freaking ad. Go fish. Okay, so it appears that I'm live. Hey guys, there's only one person watching. Oh, Terry. Hey Terry, didn't expect to see you so soon. Excuse the mess in the background, guys. Yeah, place is a mess. I'm just going live because I've already edited most of the video already. I mean, it's like it's about freaking 20 minutes left. Long already, I think, give or take, maybe 15 minutes. And I'm doing another one as well, and I've still got more to do tomorrow with it. So I just started going through the motions of connecting up my not my leaf cutter, my meat ants, which are over here to my left. And I was like, well, should I record this, do a video? And to tell you the truth, I'm not really interested in editing another video again. So I've decided to go live just so you guys can see where I'm at the stage I'm at now, what I'm doing. I can talk about the outworlds, the nests that I'm setting up now as well, so you can see them too, so you know what I'm doing with that. Well, not the nests themselves. In fact, I'll grab them in a second, so you can see what I'm doing there in case you're interested. They're the Ant Boy blackout. They're not blackout nests. They're the new Ant Boy UK acrylic nests. Now, yeah, I'll talk about them in a bit. So I thought, well, rather than just putting it together and then making it a mystery for next time I do my video with them, I thought, my place is still a mess, I know. I thought, why not just go live so you guys can see what I'm doing as well while I'm at it. So that's why I'm live, and that's why I've got no notice. You guys have got no notice or notifications to say that I've joined. I think you're both stalking you. Don't think there has been a massive drop in interest. Interest ant keeping, like fashion passes away. Yes and no. I think that during COVID, people were looking for stuff to do, and they started keeping ants. I looked for stuff to do during COVID. I did a YouTube video. Then you had a lot of people do YouTube videos, but now that's kind of petered away a little bit. I mean, you've got Antimatters for UK wise, definitely. You've got Antimatters that still does videos, but he's not as consistent as he was. I have had a change in circumstances at home, hence why I've not been as consistent with videos. And you've also, I mean, like Ants England posts once in a blue moon, but she does do shorts fairly often. Ants Hollifer's gone absolute batshit crazy with shorts, but not doing so many long forms. So I think people's interest in the YouTube videos in that regard has kind of waned a little bit. But I don't know. I still think the interest is still there, to be fair. But it's a good question, though. So, what am I doing today? Let me get my camera, and I'm going to hand over the lens to you all. Whee! So, I've been doing a video about that, but I'm not going to talk about it now because that video should be out tomorrow. So, this is what I've been doing. So, these are my meat ants. My Campanus nicobrensis. I have not cleaned them out yet. Bearing in mind, guys, I have not been here at home for 2 weeks, and all this week I've not had the chance to do any maintenance on my ants yet. So this is the first day I've actually had to do it. So you can see my nicobrensis and some of my other colonies if you wish. But yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll talk about them in a bit, but they're messy, so just don't hold it against me. Hey, Auntie Mouse, I was just talking about the video I'm doing about your little product there. So that video should be out tomorrow. I need to wait till tomorrow as well so I can finish off recording to see if it's all working how it should. But the little blighters are getting past that barrier again. Anyway, I'm going to swing this camera around so you can look at my 4 chins while I just set up this, which is like my TV stand. Look, chins. How many chins do you need? Got more chins in China. This is what I generally use. This is where it wobbles around, but it does the trick. I do have some Lagius species. I've got Lagius flavia and I've got Lagius niger The Nigers have found it again because I got rid of the Conleys. I released them into the wild because I wasn't really paying much attention to them. But then Carly wanted to. I got to get Carly interested more into ants. We went hunting for some queens, and we found a queen for her. So I think she's called it something ridiculous, like she does all my Aunt Conleys. But yeah, so you'll get to. I'll show you my latest colonies at the moment when I get the chance. So, but yeah, I do have some. So what am I doing today then? Now I've finished editing that video. You've got these nests. In fact, let me stick that like that. Hopefully you don't just get the back of my head. Like I said, this is really an unprompted live today, so I've not prepped anything. I'm just going with the flow. So you've got these. Now, sorry for the back of my head. These are Antboy UK's acrylic nests. They've got Hydrostone for hydration. Now, originally, I was testing these for the hydration, and the maths didn't work out because outside of the nest, the humidity was about 50%. Inside the nest, once these were starting to dry out, it went to 18%. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. Maybe the Hydrostone sucking humidity out of the air. Yeah, sucking the humidity out of the air and making it dry in there once they dried out. Then it turned out the thing I was using was woefully inaccurate for humidity, so I abandoned it. So I'm winging it on a prayer. I haven't got anything to test humidity inside accurately, so I think it's going to be fine. Hydrostone's fairly good. I know a lot of retailers are using it now. I hate sponges, so I asked for a Hydrostone one, and this is what it's got. As you can see, probably not the best, but it's pretty clean. What I have noticed as well is you notice these little, I'm not sure if you can see on this camera, the little cross sections where the humidity comes through. He's put it on the top as well, so that means that the humidity does track along the tops here. It's not end of the world stuff, but it's just something I've noticed with it. I might show you a bit later when I do it. It's got little stoppers at the end. What they actually are, believe it or not, is I've got some to hand here somewhere if I can find one while rooting around. Yeah, so what he's actually got is using these bog standard. Can you see that? Yeah, bog standard Chinese stoppers. He's just put a like bit of tubing ring around it and pushed these in to make the stoppers. Now I ain't complaining about that. It looks fairly clean, as you can see here, and it does the job. So I'm not that bothered, to be fair. And what you would notice he has done as well, which you can't really, you can just see in this light, he's put like a stopper at the end of the tube connector. Now, what I found with his other acrylic ones is the ants, the tubing would just go straight in here, and it would push all the way in if you allowed it. Now he's put those stoppers, it will stop it. And what also happened is that the ants started attacking the outside of the tubing, so eventually they chewed through it. I did advise, I'm not sure you can really see. Can I get a light on this somewhere? Yeah, I'm not sure. Can you just see there? I'm not sure if you can just see there and make it out because it's live. The resolution is going to be pants anyway. But he has put a little stopper in there so the tubing can go flush against it. Great idea. I advised he did that. He's done it, which is good. Not saying he's done it because I said it, but the only issue is that it's not very thick. So this needs to be a little bit longer just so the tubing can go in there and sit snug, because that took very little effort for it to come out again. And bearing in mind, this is tight fitting, very tight fitting. And you push it right in nice, but it takes very little effort for it to pop out. So possibly needs, just to make these parts just that extra little bit longer, to give it that extra little bit more friction so it connects properly here and doesn't just pop out. I can't believe it's been chilly up north. I've been absolutely red as over the past couple of weeks. So yeah, so that's the larger one, and if you look in the distance just there, you can see the smaller one. I'm not sure on prices. I hadn't planned to do this video. I was just literally going through doing what I was doing with them, and I thought, let's do a live. As you can tell down here already, I've already disconnected this nest. So the plan is, as you can tell by the tubing at the end, there's that I've blocked off the three entrances. This is going to be connected to this. move. This is going to be connected to this, and then it's going to have a tubing going connecting to this via this. So that's going to sit like that. That's the plan. And then I'm going to connect this all up. Because if you look at the moment and you see the outworlds, do you remember me? I don't. Sorry, mate. Don't take offence. Yeah, but as you can see here, they're hanging out in the outworlds a lot. They tend to do that anyway. I've got this Ant Canada nest. They don't really use it that much. I don't hydrate it because of ventilation and there's pants. There is a couple of brood in there and stuff like that. Let me show you. Whee! Oh, was on my last live? Nice. There is some brood along here as well, so I can't really just open up and suck them out. I'm gonna have to try and convince them to move. I tried putting some cool packs on there to get them to move. They moved the brood out, but they didn't move out themselves. So I need to think of more dick-dastardly ways of getting them out of this without at least getting the brood out. Then the adults I can deal with and suck up with the Hoover. So at the moment, nesting space is this, and this little one here. So what I want them to do really is move into their frigid here today. Frigid to me is when we call somebody that doesn't put out in the sexy time kind of way, antimatters. So there's nobody putting out around you, mate. I don't know, probably shouldn't ask questions like that. So yeah, this is the plan, and you guys can watch me do that. That's the whole point of this live, so I can just carry on talking rubbish while you guys watch me fail miserably and derivatively. So what I need is, bearing in mind, I got loads of little bits of offshoots of tubing and stuff like that here, which helps tremendously when it comes to just needing to do bits and bobs like this. Never chuck a bit of tubing away. It's always useful and helpful, as you can probably see there. I need to get another short-ish bit. It's too long. Yeah. So I'm seeing, I've got loads of little offshoots. Do you know when I collapse my Solenopsis setup? I've got loads of lengths of tubing that I've got. Well, that's not going to bloody too thin, idiot. That I use because I try. I've got a bit of length to it, like that, for example, which is almost the perfect length. I try and keep them because you never know. Yeah, look at that, beautiful. Just fits in. Shite. Now the whole plan, I'm hoping that they actually move into these because they need to. Because I'm sick to death of them being all the way around the outworld. They make my life so much like hell. Too much. Terry gets where I'm coming from. Don't worry about that. This is why I do my small Fedoli colony not eating mealworms. You'll be surprised. I have had it many a times when I have thought my Connolly is not eating. They're not eating the food that I'm giving them. Many a times. All it is that they're a small Connolly. They're not taking off and eating it. They take what they want, which is very little by all admittance because they're such a small Connolly, and then they move on, and then they leave it. And you may feel like they're not actually eating the food, but I can guarantee you they are. And you'll notice that because brood will keep growing, developing. The queen would lay eggs and stuff like that. So don't worry. It might not look like they're eating. Jesus, it may not look like they're eating, but they are. Yeah, just like Terry said. Good old Terry. Right. Can't get this tube out. Here we go. Wrong hole. No, it's not the first time she said that. Right. I tell you what. These. What? Oh, bugger off. So I just knocked the bloody cotton wool out and they're getting out everywhere. Sorry for my profanities there, guys. This always happens to me. It doesn't matter what I do, I always mess it up somehow. Think that's most of them. No. Tell you what, these jelly pots are great for stuff like this. You guys could have warned me as well. You just like sitting there laughing at me. Oh, crumbs. Right, back to what I was saying. Your answer escaping, mate. This Connolly, I've got no idea. It's a good freaking 5, 10, maybe 1,000 strong. It's yeah, it's quite a big one. 15 workers in Fedoli. You're not going to notice them eating stuff, mate. Connolly. I know Connolly. I can't say Connolly. It comes out like Connolly with like 2 L's. Sorry. I never noticed it before, but then Carly picked me up for it the other day, and now I keep doing it. All right, and we know where I chucked the connector to this. Ah, it's on the floor. So, as I was saying, what I'm finding is that as soon as I pop this in, you see that, okay? As soon as I pop this in, any kind of movement on it, it pops back out again. It's not ideal. So that was relatively painless. Let's connect this up. And we go for launch. So I've connected that up now so they can go into those 2 nests if they want to. I haven't hydrated them yet. I need to. Now I just need to get a little bit of tubing for that bit there so I can connect that to that. And then that's all connected up to the outworlds and the other nest. Just need to find small. Ever so small bit of tubing. Okay, looks... Okay, look at it this way. Look at the you're still talking to they're such a small Connolly, mate. You're not going to even notice them taking food, especially something as big as a mealworm. You probably find they're filling the little tiny stomachs. And bear in mind, Fedolis don't have the biggest of stomachs anyway, social stomachs, especially the small workers. I might have to cut a bit off. I haven't got a bit just the right size. Yeah, you won't necessarily notice the Fedoli workers actually going hunting, filling their bellies up because they're so small. But they will be taking stuff, trust me. Any small bits of cable anyway, guys? Look, there's some. That might do it. Oh, might be a tad short. See if I've got a longer one before I look at that. Like, this is how I do anting, guys. It's a precise science with me, I swear. It's not at all. Just it's a bit small. Might have to cut something to the length that I need because I think everything else is too big or too small. That might work. Bigger than that. That might work. Let's try this, shall we? Boom. All right, flick these in here. There you go, little ladies. Cooking on gas. See if you guys can get a better look. Here we go. Here we go. Right, last tube to connect. I'll probably do this wrong because it's me. Freaking one's already got out. Quick, without trapping any workers. Boom. Job's a good one. So the reason why I don't want to disconnect these is I'll show you now, actually. Everyone send your SGM artists to him. It'll be great. Are you talking about what? Hi, enclosure. This is my meat ants, mate, that I'm working on at the moment. I'm just connecting it all up to a new load of new outworlds and stuff like that. If anyone sends me any Geminata, they will be going in the fire. No jokes. I absolutely loathe that species. You better be messing with me, mate. I absolutely loathe them. So the only problem with these nests is the black, and my ants that I'm working with are black. So I'm probably not going to see a great deal in there, which is a shame. But I do need to hydrate them. So now these nests are going to be fairly dry. I'm going to put you on this again when I hydrate them because I forgot to do it. My didactically plan is that they actually move into this. They move the brood and stuff into here because if you can you see at the moment? I'm not sure because the live's a bit of delay. Yeah, the outworlds have got loads of brood in there and stuff like that. They're just pains. I just don't want to move out of the outworlds. Since I've had them, pretty much when they started getting big. They just lurked in the outworld and just like want to hang out there all the time, which is less than ideal. Because when you try and because they spread the brood all over they do group the brood together. To be fair, if at different ages, they're quite very specific where the way that they group the brood together, as it were. But it's still a pain. I would say with you guys as well, if you do get these nests, I'll let you know how I get on with them. You need to get one of these because the hole for or something that does the same job, by the way, because the hole for hydrating it, this needle just fits in it. Oops. And if you look at these nests as well, they've got all the queens brooding and the queens there as well. But I'll show you all that stuff later anyway. I actually got this Conley founding Conley as well. I can't remember how many workers I had now. I have to check my playlist on my YouTube channel. Well, you know, I've got a YouTube channel, bloody watching it. I'll have to check the how big the Conley was when I first got it because I can't remember at this time. Probably should have done this at first. These ants do quite like the dryness anyway, but what I'm thinking of doing is just hydrating it now because I want to see if I can, if they move most of their brood out of the outworlds, because it's saying out the outworlds aren't going to be that humid in themselves, so why are they putting the brood in there? I don't know. But they've definitely got enough nest space to not need to be in the outworld anymore. I hope they get the message. Probably not. So, just hydrated it all. I'm not sure if you can really see because they're black ants and I've got a black nest. I really didn't think this through when he sent this. I probably should have done because, oh, look, there's one. There you go. You're not going to see much with them. That's just me. Classic me, that is. But hopefully they get on with them. I am going to put the cover on them and leave these guys to it now. You guys can watch that for a second while I do this. Now, if you guys want to see any other Conleys, let me know and I'll happily show you what I've got going on at the moment. Like I said, this is my first day off in 4 weeks. So if anybody starts whinging and whining about how dirty my ants are, I'm going to tell you to suck out, because I literally am not going to listen to you, because I've not been about. If you're on my Instagram and Facebook, maybe you've probably seen my personal Facebook. That is, you might have seen me posting some pictures of me being away. So yeah, I'm not listening to you whinging. So if you want to see any ants, by all means, crack on. Spoiler for my video later on tomorrow. Woo! How are the Nikos doing? The Nikos are probably going to be absolutely disgusting. So let me get them up. Let me move my camera about a little bit. Stand by. Harps. My harps is not good news, bro. I'll move on to the harps in a second. Probably the best bet. Put this back over here. There we go. Yes, I do need a better setup. I know. Don't hate me. Yes, I know the place is a mess. Just leave me alone. Or maybe I'm the one that's making an issue out of it because I'm the one that's conscious of it. So, Nikos. I'm going to be cleaning these out as well as we're talking about them. Nikos. This Nico colony used to be huge for the guys that know my channel at all. These are like my OG Connolly. Like literally I think these are literally the first exotic ants I ever got, to be honest. So yeah, can you see them? Barely. I'll take it off. You can see me talking. So where is right? I am falling in love with this because I can clean my ants. It sucks it all up into here, and then I can just tap out like the. Sorry. Then I can just tap it out, which is good. But you'll see that tomorrow because I'm not really reviewing it. I'm just practically using it, I guess. Right, these haven't been fed for a while either. I think I've fed them because Carly doesn't mind feeding my leaf cutters because it's fairly easy and simple, but she won't feed any of my other ants because she doesn't like cockroaches. And she didn't feed them anything else. Any more in there? There's not many in the outworld. Oh, geez. There it is. Always check inside your cockroaches, guys, because if they're in there. There we go. Happy. So, cut out the noise for a second. I'll show him in a second. Let me just hoover up. Oh, there's one worker in there. In you go. Oop, let go. In you go. So if you want to get down, let's have a look. Ooh, should be able to see him in there now. Obviously, I've still got some more hoovering to do. Still a couple more dead workers in there I need to get. So bear with me again. Sounds like that Hoover's battery is dying, actually. There's a worker there. Come on. Oh, where are you going? Sorry, I had a random worker run off. I'm not going to spend a lot of time cleaning these out massively in the arts of getting all this out well all cleaned up and stuff like that. No, I'm not. So I'm just going to, as I go along, show you each Connolly as I clean it up. Now, get off. This is the water one, so this can just go straight back in with some fresh water in it. I always use mineral water. I don't use tap water. I think that's more of a habit from my early ant keeping days where it was all like, oh yeah, but you can't use tap water because it's got chemicals in it. I think there's a lot of myths that have permeated through the anting communities, such as tap water being bad. I don't think anyone's ever actually got any bad issues from feeding ants tap water. But hey, what do I know? I'm just still an ant keeper. That's going in to be washed. Ah, crumbs. Right, I have got this Wakushi stuff. I use this Wakushi stuff because it's got preservatives in it, so I can, when I'm leaving them for any period of time, I can just overload them with the sugar stuff and they can take it as they want it. So for stuff like that, this is really helpful. And also now that I'm busier these days and I don't have the time to do the ant maintenance like I used to and keep proper on top of all my ants, I don't need to worry about replacing that after 2 days. In the Netherlands, tap water is mineral water. Nice. Obviously got good quality water. I've just ordered some more nopes, as I've started to call them myself now. Some more roaches, because my big ones, I'm starting to run out of them now. There's a male, that will do. Come here. No, you won't. As always, I do not live feed my cockroaches. I think that's horrible. I don't know why people do it. Amazing what people do for likes and stuff. So I make sure I cut them down the middle first and then stick them in there. So how are they getting on? They're still in this laptop nest. It is far too big for them. They've gone down to a really small Connolly. Like I said at the start, look how fat I am. Like I said at the start, this Connolly used to be about 5,000 strong. They were massive. They haven't really recovered properly, so hence why I've got such a small outwell compared to they used to be in that one, which is huge, and an Ant Canada. They used to be into a much bigger one, but now they just occupy this bit. That's been filled full of trash. And to tell you the truth, I do need to disconnect it. Haven't got round to it yet. You can't really overfeed ants, to be fair. If you overfeed ants, they won't eat it, and it will just go rotten. And if you're doing your normal ant routine, you'll clean them out anyway, and it won't be a drama. But yeah, so I do need to take this off, clean it out, and then connect it if they ever get bigger. They have, this bit was all full of rubbish, but they've cleared it out. Probably moved it up there now, to be fair. They've still got a little bit there, so I do need to disconnect that, but I haven't got around to it yet. I don't know how big they are, maybe about 500 strong. Maybe about 500 strong or so. They're just ticking over, is the best way to describe them. I leave them to it. I don't bother them much these days. Like I said, I have got an extensive playlist on them with when I first had the massive die-off, which was confusing. But I know I'm not the only one that's had this experience with them where they've just had die-offs and stuff like that. Yeah, I had Nikos for a couple of years. Some Thinkers of Hearts in a way, got them to a few thousand before sending them off as they got quite boring. Yeah, I don't film a lot of them now because I haven't got a lot to film about them regarding what's going on with them. They are the OGs of my channel, though. They're like the first exotic ants that I properly got, and then just then I started doing YouTube videos and stuff like that. So you know, it's one of them. Oops. Yeah, it's like one of them. But I'm not going to get rid of them. I don't like getting rid of my ants. I like to keep them if I can, because I like them. I don't get the time to spend with my ants where I'm going to get bored with them because there's always something going on with them. Yeah, I kind of keep them in the corner and don't worry about them per se. But I still want to keep them. I don't think I've ever given away any of my ants. To be fair, no. So let's have a look at my Harpanathus. So, for those of you who don't know, my Harpanathus was a 2-queen Conley. I put them in an Ants HQ nest. Is it about here? Yeah, it is. I've not cleaned it out yet, so I put them in this Ants HQ nest. It was far too dry for them. Then, obviously, with the splitting with the missus and stuff like that, and being between houses, to my new place and the old place, I wasn't hydrating them or keeping on top of it as much, so they didn't get as much moisture. They had a massive amount of brood, which if you go into my shorts, I think I've got some videos of the brood. They had a massive amount of brood. None of the brood developed. When it did develop into a pupae, they just moved it into the outwood and let it die and didn't look after it. So I think it was too dry for them. I then moved them into the 2 queens died, but there was eggs being laid. It turns out with Harpanathus that they have a queen system like most ants, but they also have a gamete system that goes hand in hand with it in a way where a dominant worker can be a reproductive. I've got one dominant worker that is laying eggs, and if they're not fertile, I would have expected them to grow into drones. But because they're inbreeders, then the drones could then mate with her or one of the other females and then produce real queens again, or not real queens, sorry, produce workers, female workers to keep the colony going. But that isn't happening, to be fair. So I'll just show you. Right. Whee. Oh, there we go. So this is them. Let's get some light on it, see if it doesn't go weird. So I haven't had any workers die on me yet, so I've still got about 12 or so. But as you can see, the eggs are just not developing. There was a platform and there was a chamber underneath it, and I thought that maybe, I was hoping that maybe because they built the platform out of soil, I was hoping that they actually would have got the workers underneath there, but no, it didn't. Not the workers, the brood underneath there, but that wasn't the case. So long story short, they are going to die out. The eggs aren't developing like I hoped. I'd hoped they'll produce males and they'll mate internally, and then they'll get an existing Conley. But yeah. Once people get these in stock again, I am going to get them because I do really like them. I do think they're really interesting. So yeah, I do like them. It is such a shame. I think, let me put this back up here actually. I think that there we go. Sorry guys. If my circumstances were different, I think this would be a very successful Conley, to be honest with you. Oh, look, let's take this out. I've still got loads of cockroaches running around in there, so I won't. Now, believe it or not, you don't need to feed these carbohydrates or anything. You just need to feed them protein because the adults eat the protein, so as well, and live off that. Got quite a few cockroaches in there, so I am not going to put any more in there for now. So disappointing, Harpanathus. But once I get the opportunity again, money permitting and all that jazz, I'm going to get them again because I really like them, to be honest. Let's have a look at my Sansabinus because she is one impressive queen. Oh, look at her. She's beautiful. I'm desperate to clean these out as well. Crumbs. Have a look at this, guys. So I'm hoping they've just put a dead. Boom. There you go. To show the acros. I'll show them in a second. Need to sort that out. I'm going to clean this out in a second. Let me get my macro lens so we can have a close-up look at what's going on with this queen. But at the moment, you can see, sorry about that noise in the background, there's somebody that's got a small penis and a really big exhaust for no reason at all. But bear with me. Whee! So, there we go, orientate it. Here we go. Now, I've had her, I did a video on her when I first got her, so I think it's about a year ago maybe. I think I'm still with my ex, so I think it was well over a year ago now. If we look, she's got plenty of fresh eggs there. She's got different larvae, different size. What on earth is that? I keep my Nikos at 25 degrees. Oh, it's eating a bit of roach, I think, the larvae is. But she's got plenty of eggs. Workers are doing fine. Oh, she's been picking the cotton wool. There's some pupae there. Is that an egg or is that larvae? Bear with me, guys. I have not looked at this girl for a while. I think that's larvae. Yeah, it's larvae. What we're talking about here for your first winter, Nikos, I wouldn't hibernate them. I think this larvae is all alive. It just seems to be mixed up with the cotton wool. Ooh, look at her. They seem to be moving. I wonder if they're dead. That massive gaster. She is one pretty queen. But as you can see, she's doing really well. But they need to stop picking the cotton wool. Now, that test tube they're in is dry as. It really is. I've got another test tube attached. Oh, I can't see because you're looking at me. I got another test tube attached that is full of water, but they won't move. I'm starting to think that she's. Look at myself. Hey, good looking chap there. I'm only joking. I'm not that vain. Oops. Oh, crumbs. Check out so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, this test tube is completely dry. I've tried to move her out. I've done all the light exposing to try and get moving to this test tube, which I'm going to replace that actually. I am going to replace that test tube. Let's look for my test tube so I can put a clean one on. Hold the line, please, caller. Ooh. Can you see? Because all you're looking at there is my boobs. There we go. Should be able to see what I'm doing now. I'm just going to replace this test tube because it's a bit dirty now, and they're still not moved into it. So I'll take. Oh my god, these camera lenses! This is so hard. Oh yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Just do that. There we go. We're on cooking on gas now. Need some. So that should do it because they're not massive cotton wool pickers, these guys. Old mineral water. A little bit too much. That should do it. Right, they've got way more space. Let's hopefully they move into it. Right, come on, girls, get out. Get out, get out, get out. Get out. No, you're not getting out. There we go. Quick and easy fresh water on there. That can go in the wash. So that was done fairly quickly and easily. Sorry about that. That she's not happy. Now, back to what somebody else was saying. I can't remember the name of it. Saying my life off the top of my head about ants not eating. These guys don't ever appear to eat. I very rarely see them feeding, to be honest. But I know full well that they are because you've obviously got the brood there that's developing. So, where's the rest of that tissue? But cotton wool. Go. So I definitely know that they're developing and stuff like that. Come out of the way. Oh, that's the only problem with the Wakushi stuff. Even though I like using it, it didn't half get sticky. You. But not to worry, we'll have this cleaned up in no time. Now, like I said, these guys are really cool. They're really nice colour. Get off. Hang around on my finger for a bit, I don't mind. There we go. She's still on my finger, look. Keep her there for now. There you go. Come on, little sister. Hitchhike with me. I'll look after you. Boop. There we go. Happy as Larry. So, Antin Sugar's still alive. Save him. No way was that in there alive, mate. I've been there a while. I don't know how long it's been leaking out for, to be fair. That'll do. I really need to send my plans, my CADs for my liquid feeders to, because these are my liquid feeders, by the way. I designed them and printed them, but I need to send it to Perry because he wants to put them on his Facebook page. Not Facebook page. He wants to print them and sell them. I sent him the CADs, but I sent the wrong ones. That was like 6 months ago, and I still haven't sent him the new ones. I need to though, but I haven't got around to it yet because I'm stupid. Yoink. Get the snippies on this roach. Boom. Job's a good one. Sunspina's done. She was looking really well, which I'm pleased with. Now, let's have a look at my Camponotus lignoperda. How can you see? Can you see him there? No. Yeah, there you go. Lignoperdas. They're doing all right. Possibly the only. These are Europeans, Camponotus, I think they are. They're pretty easy to look after. I don't really worry about them too much. Hold that thought, guys. There we go. Right, stick that on charge because it ain't sounding too healthy, that. I'm not going to clean these out as much as I did the last one because I haven't got a massive spillage, so I don't have to worry about it per se. But yeah, these are doing great. They're bunching up big time, as you can see here. So I probably need to think about setting them down for hibernation. I'm not sure when they'll hibernate. I think it's the end of October, start of October time. Look at hibernating. So I'll start doing that. If you look at that fridge just there, I can adjust the temperature from plus 25 degrees down to like minus 25 degrees. So I can slowly reduce the temperature down over a period of time. There's only these and the Lagius that I need to hibernate. I don't think none of my other ants hibernate, so it should be quite an easy hibernation. But yeah, all this stuff here is barrier, all this liquid stuff here, so I won't worry about that too much. Well, I'm not worrying about it too much, to be fair. So inconsiderate. Yeah, you got a good aim there. So all I really need to do with these, they've got... Oh, maybe not. Okay. Yeah, let me flip this around. All right, if I'm going to hibernate these, which I am going to do, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Oh, no. So this test tube clearly dry as anything. Gonna take it out and move it and replace it with a fresh one. But as you can see there, they've put brood there, so that ain't happening now. How about that one? Have they got any brood in there? Let's get the macro lens on it There we go. If I can find a screw hole, I'm going to get the macro lens on that and see, because this is a great angle for my face, if there's any brood in there, because if there isn't any brood in there. There's one larvae. She's big enough to survive being tapped out, I think. Is there any... Wow, this angles are pants. Rotate it round. I think there's that one larvae. Right. Answers that question. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take this test tube out. Yep, you can see. I'm going to take this test tube out. So we use that to clean. It's not a drama. Just top up the water in it so they've got enough for winter, basically. Yeah. Chewy beans. The larvae drop out. Yep, larvae's dropped out. Cool. I'm not even going to change. Yeah, I'm going to change that because it's dirty. Put some fresh water in. There we go. I'm going to fill this up quite a fair bit, as you can tell, because I want this to be the clean water for winter. Now, I hibernate these, probably a bit more than that. I hibernate these at around 10 degrees. They say you can go down as low as 7, but I keep them at 10 because all I need the queen to do basically is stop producing eggs and let her chill her beans over winter to give her that break that she needs. That was seamless for a change, better than it was for my other one. Yeah, so she has that break and doesn't produce any eggs. So quite happy keeping them at 10 degrees. I did it last year, and as you can tell here, they're fine. They're doing really well. I don't know why they've produced queen workers though. Can I rotate this around? Have I got any more? Yeah, I got a load of brood in there as well. Crumbs. Great. Damn it. The queen's just there as well. Just there. But they have got quite a nice pile of brood. I'm going to have to move them out of this, I think, after hibernation into something a little bit bigger, because I think they're going to grow quite significantly over next year. So, I need to feed these. Cool. When I'm hibernating them at 10 degrees, I do still keep them in food in the form of carbohydrates, just because I know they're a bit active. They'll be active still. Well, not as inactive as you would if you kept them at like 7 degrees. So just in case, I make sure they've got some carbohydrates to tie them over with if they choose to. That is my Lignoperna done. And if you've got any other preferences, whatever ants you want to look at as well, let me know. I really don't mind. Let's check out. I've not touched these for a while. Right. So these are my Camponotus singularis. The brood is not developing still. So, need some advice on this, to be fair. I have done everything right with these that I think I have. They're in test tube setup. She has laid some eggs. They just need to be drying out. What I'm thinking next is maybe putting them in my terrarium, because they're quite big, so they should be able to defend themselves against the copious amounts of wood lice which proliferate in there. There's enough food in there now because I've recently cleaned out my leaf cutter ants, so all of their rubbish went in there, so there's plenty for them to eat. So they shouldn't really outcompete them, hopefully. But I might put these in there as well in the terrarium to see how they get on. Leave a comment if you think that might be the way to go about it. The terrarium's in here with me, so it stays at around the same temperature, 25 degrees, as the rest of the room. So other than that, I'm out of ideas of what to do with them. to be fair. So, yeah, if you know what you're talking about when it comes to these girls, advice and guidance required. Dankeschön. I haven't really eaten that cockroach either, to be fair. So frustrating. Where do you get the small bottles? I got the small bottles off of AliExpress. No, I lie. These small bottles, these ones, can you see that? These ones, I got them from part of the, the original supplier of like the gravity fed liquid feeders form. I can't remember what his name is now. He supplied them, but the ones that I got from AliExpress, I think it was, were these ones, which had got the same entrance hole, so they can use it on the any other liquid feeders as well, generally going around. So yeah, that's what I use. I don't think their heads are big enough to get in there. I did make these with small entrances and large entrances, but I think all my large entrance ones are being used. They certainly are. Need to 3D print some more. Well, shoot. I'll try it with these anyway. I haven't got anything else to really use, so I'll try it with them. See, Fuscas are Formicas, just generally Formicas are ants that I really want to keep as well. But I've never been able to successfully keep them. I've managed to keep them for a couple of years and they die off. So I'm thinking of going, for the sake of keeping them, put them in a naturalistic setup where they can dig and stuff like that. So if they get stressed and they spray formic acid everywhere, they won't gas themselves because they get absorbed into the soil. That's my thought process. That's what I'm thinking of doing. How big's your Formica antimatters? How big's your Formica Conley? Because if it's any sizable, I'd love to know how you're keeping them. Oops. So that's her done. Not a great story again. It is what it is. All right. You guys haven't seen this yet, so I can't say I'm too surprised. It is just a queen. I'm going to get my macro lens in a minute so I can have a look, if not you guys too. See if the brood are developing with her. But like I said, you don't know what she is yet. And to tell you the truth, I can't remember her name, so I'm not going to tell you either. But yeah, so semi-colostral queen, as you can tell, because I've got stuff going on. She's just a queen, and just cleaning out all the dead workers, dead roaches had in there as well. She does like to go hunting apparently, but I've never seen her do it. So for that sake, put a live roach in there. She's got something to hunt if she wants. She does apparently sting. But what I also tend to do, because I haven't seen her really cutting around much, is kill a cockroach. Come here, little cow. Don't hide from me. There's no escape. They look like they're developing. I'm going to get the macro lens on her in a second anyway, so just bear with me. Because the brood looks like it's developing. Now, bear in mind, they're definitely developing. There is a little white bug in there. It is not mites, before you worry. It is a springtail. just because I put some soil out of my terrarium in there with her previously, and these springtails came along to her. So there she is. Are they developing? Are they still just eggs? They look like little torpedoes, don't they? Come on, move your ass. Is that a larvae? Yeah, it's larvae. Move. Isn't she pretty? Yeah, look at that. We've got some larvae there, guys. Some good old news. What do you reckon she is? Ooh, I can't remember the name of it. It's in my line. Yeah, I've not learned it. I can't read Latin words. I have to get it read to me first for somebody to tell me what it sounds like. Then I remember it. What a spiky little larvae that is. Let's see if we can get a bit closer. Yep, bang on there, mate. And she's laid some more eggs. So she did come with some larvae, but she ate it, unfortunately. So I originally put her in with some like cocoa fibre and stuff like that to give some substrate. Because apparently I'm just checking. No, it's just my hand. Move it slightly to the left. There we go. I did. Yeah, put some substrate in there with some cocoa fibre, but it dried out. And all the cockroaches buried themselves in it. So I moved it to a sandy one, so she could come out and hunt if she wants. But like I said, she doesn't really come out of a test tube much. I've seen her come out of there once before. So now what I find that actually works better if I kill a roach, put it in there, as you can see, and then if she's got the option to hunt in the outworld if she chooses to, with a loose roach running around. I've never seen her drink carbohydrates, but apparently they're avid hunters, but I've not witnessed it yet. Hopefully when she grows a little bit and she's happy as Larry, with a big family, she will settle down and be very productive, is the word I'm looking for. Uh-oh. Oh my word. Oh my word. Hang on a minute, what's going on there? Hello? Oh, there we go. So, I just thought, this is my Mesa arenaris. Yeah, Mesa arenaris. Now, I thought my queen was dead because all I could see was that not moving, not doing too great. But my queen's there. So what's that? You zoom in, can't really zoom in on this ship profile. That looks like a queen with wings to me. So it looks like my arenaris are producing elites. So we move this round. Oh yeah. There's some big ass wings. Let's get the macro lens on this, see if I can get a decent one with this lens. There we go. Can we get in there? She's getting a lot of attention. She's still alive. I wonder if she's just pupated because she's not doing a lot of moving. I've not been here for 2 weeks to look at her. Are they cleaning her? They're not cleaning her. Look, are they pulling out wings, straightening them out? Or are they chewing them up? I've got no idea what's going on here. We're going to sit and watch this for a bit because I'm really curious about what's going on. wonder if they're pulling the wings off. It's almost as if they're trying to pull her wings out, as in, like, straighten them out from being all crunkled up from when she was pupaing. Any ideas, guys? Because they do have all naked pupae, and look at the size of that one as well. Where is it? Yeah, that's going to be another queen in it. That's huge. Hang on a minute. That's another queen there. Or is that a drone? Where? What do you guys reckon? Looks like it's a drone, that. His wings ain't come out yet either. I say the colony's doing well. Anything else? There's our queen. She's doing fine. Got a nice strong colony here, lady. Plenty of brood. Look how weird they are. They've got like little black hairs. But they are big. That's another queen there as well. Shizer. What to do? Do you think it's worth trying to get these queens out of there and well, yeah, get the queens out of there. From my past experience, once you get queens, if they don't fly, they pull the wings off, and then they're just a drain on the colony. So what I might do is, because they're all in test tubes, it makes it quite easy. I might go in there and actually pluck the winged queens out and put them aside with a couple of workers to look after them. So they don't become a massive drain on the colony. That's anything I can think of, because by the looks of it, I've got that big larvae there. Is probably going to be, I'm pointing at it, but you can't see it. It's probably going to be a queen. You've got a pupae, a pale pupae. It looks like it's going to be a queen, and you've got at least 2 queens that are coming out of pupae stage now. So I'll have a think about that. If you've got any advice and guidance, stick it in the comments down below, because I'm not sure how to deal with this one. I don't want to lose my Mesa Connolly and have a mass die off because of looking after freaking useless queens, because that happened with my Philodoli Nodas. They had loads and loads of queens. I didn't take them out because of the setup they were in. They pulled the wings off, couldn't tell who was fertile queen, who was not fertile queen, and they just sucked the colony dry until all I had left was queens. Hey, Ant Guy. Let me just take this lens off again. And you're probably not looking. Have I flipped the camera yet? No. There we go. Here we go. So anyway, clearly they're doing all right. They're not any concern or worries for me at all. I don't really pay much attention to them. I just leave them in the corner and let them get on with their lives. They're happy with that. I'm happy with that. It's cool to own them though, because they're such a big mess of species. Look at the size of that. So that's not even a major. In fact, it was quite big. Maybe it was a major. Yeah, they just get on with life, and I leave them to it. To be fair, so they're no dramas at all. But they're a nice colony to keep, so I don't want to particularly get rid of them. They're not cheap either. R&Rs. I mean, when I got given these, I got given them from the Colonialist. They were literally like freaking, I think it was 160 quid. So they're not cheap. They don't grow massively big, couple of hundred workers. As you can tell, mine is obviously mature Connolly because I've got elites being produced now. So mine's mature Connolly like, but yeah, they don't grow very big. They just chew the beans. Where the fudge is my Hoover? I think this is still charging. It needs charging because it ain't charging at the moment. That's a fast charger as well. Okay, where's my other one? My OG one. There it is. Bear with me. Oops, just hooked up a worker. Not into the world stuff. I've got a few workers here. Must be collecting them. Yeah, the rest are dead. Cool. Am I going to clean that poop off in the corner? This stuff here? Probably not, no. Hey, ants, whales. I'm probably going to leave it. Not really. Don't really chisel some of this off. It's the thing with messes is their poop is like cement. Everything sticks to it. It's not as bad as I let my mess of Barbarous get one time. That was proper cemented on. I think I did a video on that as well, so you can see that. Now those little streaks that you see, that is literally them pooping. Don't know where that went. Nope, sucked another one up. Let go, sweetie. Look, this is because there's a bloody worker stuck on. There you go. There's a big girl as well. So yeah, not much to talk about my RNRs. Do I feed them protein every so often? I don't go crazy with it. Maybe once a month, I give them protein. All I do is they've got, as you can see, should be able to see here, they've got plenty of seeds. I just leave them to it. Yeah, occasionally feed them a cockroach. Don't always. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's pretty much how it is. And I reckon they're pulling her wings out because she's just pupine. I think it's the same with the queen at top as well. I need to get those queens out, but not today. Ooh. Let's have a look at my latest Niger queen. It's not mine, it's Carly's, but let's have a look anyway. Oh, she's got her first workers. Oh, I'm going to have to send a picture of that and tell Carly. Because you can learn how to feed them. Can you see? Let's have a look. Yeah, you can see. First workers and nitics, just getting ready. So I'll put her aside for now, leave her to it. You can't really see from that. She was collected at the end of January, I think it was. How is she doing? She's still alive. No, I'm not going to talk about the honeypot queen. It upsets me. Righty tighty. Let's have a look at these girls. Right. So these, oh, there you go. You're not looking at rubbish. Hopefully you guys can see that. There was a bit of a delay, so I can check my angles. Nope, all you're looking at is a brush. Can you see it now? Here you go. Right, so these are my Sigourney Weavers, as Carly likes to call them, or as anybody that's got any common sense. These are my... They have been building a lot. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. These are my Polyracus dives. And they have been very, very busy. Very, very busy. Right, I'll show you what I'm looking at in a second. Let me just get this out. This can go there. You can't see what I'm doing because all you're doing is looking at that. So they've made this. There we go. They have made this. It is quite sizable nest. I think they made it and abandoned it, to be fair, because I can't see anybody in it. I've shown the line behind it so I can see any silhouettes that proliferate through. But no, it's pretty much empty. They built this and abandoned it. But what they have done is really built up the down below bit. So let me get this out. So originally this part was nest, but now they've expanded all the way around there as well. And it looks like, yeah, can't see my point now. What are they doing down there? Looks like a big entrance there, but they've really made it a lot bigger down here. So they've got that up here and built it, spent a lot of time doing it, decided against it, moved back down here again. So yeah. I do love my old dives, quite happy to keep them. They're pretty chilled. But they do like it quite humid, and at the moment, see, can you see all that? Yeah. So at the moment they're quite dry. Now you can see all those white bits on the glass. That is actually mites. They are dirt mites. Doesn't matter how long you leave cocoa fibers dry, the mites seem to be able to survive on it. Everything I've put cocoa fibers into, I get dirt mites. So as you can, if you get a chance to look at the ants at all, or if I do a future video on these, you'll see that you'll get close up of them. They don't have any mites on the ants at all. I've got no concerns about them having mites or anything like that. I think they're fine. They're just dirt mites. So I just leave them to it now. It is a bit disconcerting when you look at like, can you see that? You pick up that and you've got loads of mites all over it, but it's not really an issue because they don't attach themselves to the ants, which then it would be an issue. So I just leave them to it. They crack on. I do need to humidify this somewhat as well. So let me pour this into a bottle so I can squirt it in. I think the reason why they built the nest up top was because when I humidify it, the base of this, because I've got cocoa fiber down there to be able to humidify it, their nest gets a bit flooded. So then they move upstairs, as it were, as a backup nest to move into when it does get wet. Now, Polyracus dives anyway, are supposed to be to build in small shrubs and stuff. But as you can see today, they're more than happy to build in the ground level as well. They are not that bothered. And I do this very unceremoniously. I just get it all in so they've got plenty of water to humidify it all up. And that's it. How unsanctimonious was that? But does the job. All I need to do is just keep it all humidified up. Groovy. Once done that, get them a nice roach. Nice roach. Ew. One of my adults died. I ain't got many adults left. No. Trying to find a roach of the right size is a pain. I've got a load on order, but they haven't arrived yet. So I'm trying to find one that's reasonably sized. I might just use a male adult. There we go. Stick him down there. And then they will go crazy. This Conley, I got this Conley from Antcom. It was a 2-queen Conley. One of the queens died, so it's a 1-queen Conley at the moment. Polyrhacus is supposed to be able to inbreed, so I'm not too fussed with just having a 1-queen. They were neglected because of the in-between houses stuff, the same with most of my ants were, but they managed to pull through fine. And I moved them into this setup, and they've really picked up and flourished. There was about 20 workers, maybe max, when I first got them. I'm probably pushing 100 or so now. I know it doesn't look like it, but once they notice the food and they start coming out being all busy, you will notice them a lot more. But yeah, it's a pretty cool setup. I've used it before for Polyrhacus. They seem to be doing fine in it. So yeah, happy days. Stick that lid on. Do you breed your own roaches or buy them in? Well, I do breed. No, I'll correct myself there. I have no intentions to breed my own roaches, but they do breed. And what I use I only buy sub-adults and adults when I buy them in because I need them. And what the adults tend to do is then get down to the funky and make little ones for me. Oh, you could see that. I didn't need to adjust it. To make little ones for me, so I can feed them to my smaller Conleys. So they are kind of self-sufficient, but not. These are also Polyrhacus, but you're not going to see them because they're still in their test tubes. So what I've done with this setup is this is the weaver setup. Now I bought these Polyrhacus thinking that these were weavers. Apparently they're not. So I bought the only Polyrhacus in a weaver setup that's not weavers. So what I did was I took the best of both worlds, where I got some substrate around from. I'm going to humidify this in a bit, and then I put the test tube there so I can get eyes on them. Let me get my macro lens on so you can see them better. Move to this side. So let's have a look, see if we can get in. There we go. Beautiful red bums. I did see some larvae here the other day. Yeah, there's a big bit of larvae. So they've got larvae. They've done absolutely no effort to weave or block up the end of the test tube. But they are reproducing. I don't know if we've got any eggs in there, maybe. It looks like they're pretty much abandoned the rest of the test tube. They're just hovering around the end. Bit disconcerting. I've got no other eggs anywhere that I can see at the moment. But they are literally lurking at the end of the test tube. Can you see the eggs? I may reconsider what I do with these. Oh, that's the same larvae, isn't it? I may reconsider what I'm doing with these anyway. Because, yeah, probably not keeping them in correctly at the moment. Now, these are Polyrhacus, begin with M's. I can't remember what they're freaking called to save my life. So don't ask me. Somebody posted it. I'll probably probably able to guess right on that one. But yeah, so I'm not sure what they're called. They Polyrhacus, but apparently they don't weave, just to be annoying. And I only found that out after I bought everything for them. So if I don't weave, then I'm going to take them out of this setup and put them in another one. Put them in another setup, which is just a standard one. Probably an MS nest. I think I've got a spare MS 3.5 somewhere. So I might stick them in the MS 3.5 and see how they get on with there. They do seem fairly shy. Nah, they weave. No, they're not Amati. Well, I got them from Antantics. So if you go on there and look for the ones that got the red bums, Polyrhacus red bums, then come back to me. Yeah, I'll probably be able to tell you. Because at the moment I don't really know. Let's humidify this up a little bit. Woo! Humidify. nicely humidified. Very ceremonious, I must admit. There we go. Yeah, so I might put them in the MS. No, it's not that. It begins with M. And I can't, because I'm using my phone to film and I'm watching my YouTube channel so I can see what everyone's commenting on. I can't look myself. But I will. But yeah, it's something. Begin with M. Polyrhacus begin with M. Promise, it's a real species. Just kill a cockroach. We've only got one larvae, so we probably don't need to make one cockroach that big, but it will do. I need to do some more research. Yeah, them. That word you just say, the Maratra. Miturata. Miturata. Yeah. Them. That's it. I don't think they weave, to be fair. I think they're one of those Polyrhacus that don't weave. So yeah, that. But I'm sure they don't weave. I'm sure I read somewhere they don't weave. So if they don't weave, I'm going to put them in an MS nest. But because I was unsure, some said they did weave, some said they didn't weave, and I was unsure. I was just like, well, bugger it. I'll bloody put them, give them an option to doing both. So I did. Now, believe it or not, this is a brand new species of ants that I've discovered in the UK. No one's ever discovered the species before, but I found them. And they were brilliant. And I'm going to send them off to my ant friends, who's going to tell me that they're a very common ant. Yay! It's my bicolors, or my fluffy shield ants. That was a reference to Ants Canada and his infamous misidentifying of a common species of ants. I was just being facetious, to be fair. Never, ever, ever show these ants for their own video because they're so uninteresting. I've done, I think, a short or two of them, but they don't do anything. They're very slow in what they do. They just chill out and don't do much else. A bit like the Tylanus ants I've got. They do very little as well. Literally, these got out once they escaped. It was like a slow motion escape. They didn't do anything. They just slowly walked around in circles, oblivious to the world. Now, these do have more. They do produce queens, and they produce a lot of elites, but the colony just keeps plodding on. So I'm not that bothered by her producing queens and stuff. The queens don't generally live long and don't suck the resources out of the colony, as far as I'm aware. So I'm quite happy for them to just plod on like they are. They're not aggressive at all. Just so relaxed. If you want an easy species to keep, providing you can get the temperature right, these are your girls. Tad on the boring side, though. You know, if somebody got rid of Nicobrensis because they thought they were boring, they're going to freaking hate these. Do not get these, mate. They are boring. In fact, I think Ants Canada is doing a video on the. He's got another species and collected a queen of these the other day, didn't he? I'm not really paying much attention to that channel anymore, but I think yeah, he's got these again, but this time, obviously after. Can't be that freaking rare if he's collecting. No, you're too small. I'm running out of sub-adults. I need some more sub-adults. Coming in the post soon, hopefully. Here we go. Like I said, don't think this live is not me going to be doing a video tomorrow, because I am doing a video tomorrow. I will be releasing a video tomorrow, so don't worry. A normal video. It's been a while, so I need to get one out. Anyway, where is my antiseptic wipes gone? Oh, there they are. I'm in the process of cleaning out my Carabera Diversa, so I'm not going to film them per se at the moment because I'll be on tomorrow's video. But they're doing fine. They're still 300,000 plus strong, being incredibly annoying and not. They're all done. Meat ants. Right, let's brave the meat ants. These things bite. You can't see what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. Whee! Right, bad angles. All right, bear with me. Ah, I got meat ants all over my hands. I forgot I was filming. Sorry. Jesus Christ, these things bite. You can't see nothing at the moment. Bear with me. I'm almost there. Sugar. Right, meat ants. I'm going to feed them in a second. If you look, this is what I want to try and stop happening. This is all brood. Brood and the water tube. They've got brood around there and brood. They're so pains. Now, this is the Ant Canada nest. They're never really been overly interested in it. They do like the Wakushi ones, but they only stick the youngest of the brood in there, like the larvae and the eggs. The queen just chills there with the eggs. I'm hoping can't see shit because they're black ants on a black surface. Let me see if I can shed some light on the situation. Didn't really think that out for these. Nope. Not sure if you can. That's better. So they're interested. They're moving about in there. I thought there was a lot more going on in there because I've seen a lot more food traffic through that tube, but obviously not. So at the moment, they're not really moved in there. Not really in at the moment. They're probably still checking it out. Let's leave them to it, though. Hopefully they move in. These things can grow apparently to 100,000 strong. Hopefully I never give them enough food for that to happen because I will not. Barrier fail. We will not be able to cope with them. Need to reapply the barrier. I'm not even going to bother that little pile of rubbish there because they're right next to the brood. Now, I've just done my Nikos, mate. There's not much going on with them, to be fair. Well, that's one that's just pupaed out, because it's real pale. What doing with that one? Yeah, it was right at the start. It's an impromptu live stream, this matey, Connor. They're doing all right. They're just plodding through life. I don't really pay much attention to them these days. I just look after them. This is my meat ants, or my Iridodermix perpeus, if you want the Latin name. And these are all in the outworld because they love to put the brood in the outworld just to be annoying. But I've just connected these two new nests. I'll zoom out so you can see. Antboy acrylic nests. So hopefully they move into there. I'll be quite happy. I've got the same in this outworld as well. It's just not as prolific in here. Probably because this is where I put most of the food in. But yeah, pains in the butts. I need to feed them, but I'm not going to feed them with you guys watching just because it's dragging on a bit now and I'm talking rubbish. So what I'm going to do is say, see you later, guys. That's most of my ants talk done today. I've connected, like I said, some bits up with my meat ants. so you guys can check them, see what I've done there. By all means, thanks for sticking around and watching, and I love you all. And there will be a video out tomorrow. It is on Antimatter's little pooty bin, or whatever he calls it. It's just a bin. I get confused between calling that the bin and the sucky bin, but it's a bin. But yeah, so watch the video. I've still got some filming to do tomorrow because I need to see how they get on with moving out of the trash. So I've done half of the editing today. I'm going to do some more editing tomorrow with it, filming and editing tomorrow with it. So hopefully I can get a good see how many ants have come out, because there was about a couple of thousand ants in that sucked-in Hoover bit when I first did it. So if they've like dramatically reduced when I empty it out tomorrow, then it's a win and the product works really well. If it's still full of ants, as my barrier failed because I had issues with the barrier, well, in my video anyway. But I've also got another idea of how to do it, how to put the rubbish in the pooty bin. So I might look at doing it that way tomorrow as well to see if that works, because I've still got loads of rubbish in there that needs hoovering up, because they produce, because they're about 3,000 strong, Connolly, they produce a lot of dead and a lot of rubbish. So there's a lot to clean up after a couple of weeks of being away. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking rubbish now. Thank you very much, guys. Love you all, and I'll see you.